spotlight, so powerful is the knowledge that the newspaper industry today is in big trouble. Papers have been closing and downsizing for years, and that affects all of us. Even if you only get your news from Facebook, Google, Twitter, or Ariana Huffington's block quote junction and book excerpt clearinghouse, those places are often just repackaging the work of newspapers, and it is not just websites. Watch how often TV news ends up citing print sources.
According to the Chicago Tribune.
According to the Detroit Free Press.
According to the San Francisco Chronicle.
According to the Times-Picayune.
The Boston Globe.
The Orlando Sentinel.
The Philadelphia Inquirer.
The Pittsburgh Tribune Review.
The Detroit News.
And the Houston Chronicle reports.
The Los Angeles Times reports. The Oklahoman reports. The Hartford Courant reports. The Salt Lake Tribune reports.
It's pretty obvious, without newspapers around to cite, TV news would just be Wolf Blitzer endlessly batting a ball of yarn around. And it is not just news outlets. Stupid shows like ours lean heavily on local papers. In fact, whenever this show is mistakenly called journalism, it is a slap in the face to the actual journalists whose work we rely on. I'll give you just one example. 2 years ago, we ran a piece on state lotteries, and a not insignificant portion of it was built on the work of Harry Esteve, a reporter at The Oregonian. Here is a clip we used of him talking about his series on camera. Here I am quoting one of his Oregonian stories directly, and here I am doing it again. You probably didn't notice it at the time because you were too fixated on my bold choice of shiny grey tie with checkered dress shirt. The tie says Mafia Funeral, the shirt says High School Debate Tournament, and the face says, I am not confident enough to carry this lock off. But the point is, we used a lot of Harry Esteve's work in that piece, and we try to add new information to our stories. Our researchers work incredibly hard. But the media is a food chain which would fall apart without local newspapers. And the problem is, print ads are less popular with advertisers than they used to be, and online ads produce much less revenue. I'll show you. Between 2004 and 2014, newspapers gained $2 billion in online ad revenue. Unfortunately, in that same period, they lost $30 billion in print revenue. So that's like finding a lucky penny on the sidewalk on the same day your bank account is drained by a 16-year-old Belgian hacker. And this has led to cutbacks in newsrooms. Again, look at The Oregonian. It used to be a big moneymaker. In fact, in 1993, their editor talked about how proud he was of its record of success.
I've been at that paper more than 40 years, and every year I've been there, I've seen our staff increase. I've seen our salaries increase. Not a year has gone by that an employee at the Oregonian, full-time employee, has not been a beneficiary of a raise.
Now, that level of confidence is almost tempting fate. He's like a citizen of Pompeii saying, what I love about this city is how volcano-proof it is. Not a year goes by without us not having to have our horrified reactions captured in ash forever. Unfortunately, the Oregonian circulation has since dropped, and in 2013, just as Harry Esteve was working on his lottery series, their parent company, Advanced Publications, dropped a bombshell.
This picture, tweeted out from inside the Oregonian, shows staffers listening as editor Peter Badia broke the news some had feared. The paper will split in two, stop 7-day-a-week home delivery, and lay off some employees.
This is a strategic move to really focus everybody on what that digital future is and what our digital products and services can be.
It's true, they became a digital-first company. And digital-first sounds like a high school euphemism for seductive